But at Lila, we can certainly help you as a small business use technology to help you be more successful and use it to your advantage. So if you're not working with an IT firm or you don't have somebody that's currently helping you with technology, we'd certainly welcome the opportunity to talk further about how we might help you be more successful. We are glad to have him here today. He's going to talk a little bit about entrepreneurial spirit, and certainly welcome everybody. Give a big hand to Mike.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Wilson, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about entrepreneurship, specifically as it relates to, the Vineyard at Hershey. Interestingly enough, I now find myself owner of a winery, and it all started from a conversation in a bar in 2007. So back in 2007, I had just finished my MBA from the Philadelphia area, bless you by the way, and I was enjoying a nice glass of wine at a wine bar in Harrisburg that between the hours of 4 and 6 you could get a great glass of wine for $3 a glass, only between those hours though. So as I'm doing that, two gentlemen walk in and sit catty-corner beside me. They order the exact same glass of wine, and one says to the other, "Gee, I wish there were more wineries around here that offered good dry wines and a little bit more of a diverse menu. I feel like Pennsylvania has this stigma where not all, but many of the wineries have wine that is very, sugar, and kind of thick, almost like a cough syrup, and I just wish there was something different. That would be great." Overhearing their observations, I happened to agree with them, and I said, "Hey, I don't know you two guys, but I agree 100% with everything that you're saying." Turns out, the guy he was talking to, who he had not known for very long, happened to know how to make wine, and he disclosed that. He said, "I come from an Italian family, and on my father's side, they have always taught the oldest son how to make wine. And I've been doing this all through high school, all through college. It's probably the only reason why I had so many friends during that period of my life. But it has always been my passion to really get into making wine." He was all of 24 years old in making that statement, so we're back in 2007. So I didn't necessarily believe him, but I offered to put together focus groups of wine drinkers of different palates, and if they happened to like his wine, we would do another one to make sure it wasn't a fluke, and then another one just because third time's a charm. Needless to say, all of those went very well, and in 2008, I helped to write a business plan for a winery. Now, in walked a fourth partner who knew one of the other two guys from serving on the board of the YMCA Youth and Government program together, and he happened to own a business for 10 years that came with a 40-acre farm that he wasn't doing anything with. So there's a guy who works as an ag professor for Penn State, who was on retainer by the Pennsylvania Wine Association, who will come out to your property, and I'm looking at you too. He'll come out to your property and he'll analyze your soil. He'll tell you everything you need to know, what will grow well, what will not, when to plant, when to harvest, everything you need. Through that, we ended up finding that this 40-acre farm was a functional farm for over 100 years. It was fed by a natural springs pond, and it's an eastward-facing slope, so the sun rises and then it's nice and cool at night, and fed by this natural springs pond. So we had a winning recipe for growing grapes. We started doing private invite-only types of events after planting in later 2008, and we geared up for a February 2012 opening. When we opened, we had 608 people on the first day at our little farmhouse, and as of 3 weekends ago, we've cleared 25,000 visitors in a year and 2 months' time. So this little bar conversation where we thought it might be nice to have our own little winery so we don't have to pay for our own wine anymore turned into a business plan projecting 1,500 gallons of wine in year one, which is pretty consistent with many small local wineries, into us doing 10,000 gallons of wine in our first year, which translates to a little over 40,000 bottles. The interesting part is all of our partners work full-time. So our president, the first guy that sat down at the bar, is an attorney at a large firm in Harrisburg. I work for the Secretary of Education. Our winemaker works for the House of Representatives, and our partner who owned the farm owns 5 different various businesses. So I hope you all enjoy your weekend, because I haven't had one in about a year and a half. But we're really excited. This plan is actually a 3-phase plan. We're about ready to launch the second phase. We're opening a brewery as well. So we will be among the first. I think there's one other one that they haven't produced yet. We will have a winery and a brewery on site. Now that doesn't go without the same level of planning. About 8 months ago, we started sampling from brewmasters who were interested in doing the same thing, kind of like our winemaker, and we needed to make sure that fit into our partnership. So we'll be launching the brewery at Hershey on the same site. Our target date is first weekend of August in this year, and then after another year of craziness, we hope to launch the distillery at Hershey, thereby completing my vision of the Disney World of alcohol. I suppose the moral of this story is always talk to strangers in a bar, because you never know where those random conversations are going to lead you. But functions like this are perfect for such things because you never know about the skill sets of the people around you. And that is wholeheartedly what makes our partnership as successful as what it has been. I think about how blessed I am to have such great skill sets in my business partners. So, you know, I don't know the first thing about making wine, but I can tell you what's good and what's not and what will sell and what won't. And I can tell you how to reach people of different palates. I don't want to deal with Liquor Control Board or ATF or any of that fun legal stuff, so I stay out of that. And I don't know anything about farming either. So the great thing is we each just kind of let our, you know, I'll handle my area and I don't want anything to do with yours, and it creates for almost like a wonderful brotherhood of good, successful partnership. But I would invite all of you to come check us out. We're certainly not your standard, what may sometimes be perceived as a pretentious atmosphere in many tasting rooms. We like to party a little bit. We take a lot of risks. We just rented a limo bus to bring 40 of our customers with us to go to the first Penn State game up at Syracuse. So we're going to bring our wine, our beer, food. We're going to tailgate. We like to do those kinds of things, murder mystery dinners, stuff like that. And then we stay at the forefront of technology, getting to what you were talking about. We are extremely, extremely social media driven. We use Facebook, Twitter. I actually had a conversation with and hired our last 2 tasting room associates only by using Twitter, because I wanted somebody that would be exposed to our brand. So take risks, talk to strangers in bars, and thank you very much for having me.
Works Candies was kind enough to put together a collection of special chocolates that, and I'm hoping that you can tell us how they will be accompanied with your different wines. We have different chocolates with bacon,